Hello. Okay, this is going to be interesting for that very reason. I'm on Bray Seafront. It's hazy sunshine. I've the wind behind me and I've waves in front of me, so I don't know if any of this is going to be audible, but see what happens. So this is about the human struggle, really, or human frustration. And if you're watching this video, or you're on any kind of, I suppose, spiritual path or seeking path, the chances are you are struggling to a degree, or go through phases of it. I mean, everyone struggles through life, but I think some people struggle more than others, and at a deeper level wonder, what the fuck are they doing here and what's the point? So that should cheer you up. So the struggle in a way is beneficial to us because it drives us to seek something greater. To read the unusual books, or to learn to meditate or yoga, or to seek a deeper peace or a deeper understanding. If we're feeling good and life is good, why bother? I don't think I might have fleeting interest in understanding the world and the universe and who I am, but if everything's going great and I'm in great health and I'm making loads of money and I'm happy in my relationships and my work and so on, why not just enjoy life? So it's when these things are difficult that we ask questions and we look. So there is a purpose. It moves us, it drives us, and thus a lot of, say, spiritual, inverted commas, people are quite fucked up. It took me a while to realize that, that you'd meet people who're meditating, or they're yogis, or they're whatever, and then you kind of realize, Jesus, he's depressed, or he's very irritable, or he's whatever. And I thought, well, that's not very spiritual, and now I've become one of those people. And now I understand it more, that the struggling people seek spirituality, or seek something to keep us calm or keep us happy. It's part of the human condition. Now, obviously, that doesn't go for everyone. We have the gurus on the mountaintops, and we have Eckhart Tolle and so on. But I mean, even he went through a breakdown and went through, seriously low depression. And a lot of people do, there's a lot of people that through their depression or through their struggle, they have some sort of awakening or spiritual awakening, and it changes them. So I suppose, thinking like this, yesterday it made me just consider those that didn't actually make it. So the chances are, if you're listening to this, you're not on the mountaintop. And you're not Eckhart Tolle. If you are, hello, thanks for listening to my video. But the chances are you're not. But you've made it this far. And for me, I suppose I just considered and realized, to think of the amount of people who didn't make it this far. The addicts, the suicides, the people in madhouses, in asylums, and especially over past years, recent decades, that were just locked up for being crazy. And today, that are so easily medicated with any kind of symptoms of anything unusual, or asking any kind of questions. You really, if you have the wrong family around you, or if there's such thing as wrong, but if you have people who are not open or supportive around you, you could end up just medicated and all of this being kind of pushed down. So a lot of these people in the madhouses were not mad at all, and the suicides, the drug addicts, the people on the side of the street who we might deem as being crazies, they're not all crazy, and what is crazy? Perhaps they just see the world differently. Perhaps they see more than we see, and perhaps some of them are freer than we are. Not all of them, obviously, but it just made me think of these people, you know. Are we the mad ones that buy into careers and houses and all that kind of shit if we do? I'm searching for a word, an alternative to using the word spiritual, but if you have any suggestions, write them below, please. Spiritual people just tend to me, it's just the volume is being turned up. There's just more intensity. It's like a car going faster. It's a great sensation when it's going well, but then there's a bigger risk, there's a bigger possibility for crash, for damage. And spiritual people can be more addictive, they can be more angry, more irritable, they're more intense, there's more drive, there's more energy. And when all that's working out, it's great. You know, they're more passionate, they're loving, they're freer, they're creative, they're intelligent. And then when it's not going well, we're difficult to be around. So, but that's just part of the human condition as well. It's for me, as I get older, I suppose, or as I become more aware of myself and what's going on here, I notice these things faster, and I'm able to step back from them faster. I'm able to take steps to not let it get out of control. Now that's not always, but that's, you know, that's life. I think the point is about finding tools or means for us to progress, not to try and pretend that we are at the end. I ain't at the finish line, I haven't mastered this by a long way, so I'm just trying to make as smooth a journey as possible. So it makes me realize, or kind of consider just how far we've all come, and to contemplate the challenges in this life, you know, maybe our schooling, our difficult families, difficult jobs, our own depressions, the dark night of the soul, which, you know, can go on for most of your life, on and off. It can be very intense and very difficult. And also to consider that there's a lot at play. You know, I think it's very easy for people to say, and especially we can overanalyze and go, oh, it's your karma, yeah, full stop. And we like to think, oh, it's the karma done, or it's because it's a full moon, or because I don't know. But in my opinion, there's a lot of different factors to take into consideration. I'm not sure if I believe in karma. I'm open to it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think it might just be a trap. But there's the possibility of karma, there's the possibility of what we've agreed to learn, why we came back here, and what we've agreed to look at. So sometimes that can be held in front of us for years and years, or maybe for lifetimes, until we actually get the message. So pre-birth we would have made agreements of why we're back, what we want to focus on, what we want to learn. And sometimes we don't move forward until we get that lesson. So we're stuck, and we don't get that we're stuck, and we think that there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong, we just haven't got the lesson yet. We just haven't realized. We've been inflexible, we haven't been open, we've kind of been struggling and fighting what the lesson is, what the message is. And usually when, if not always, when we actually get the lesson, you know, it can mean a death of sorts, maybe a death of a relationship, or a death of a career, or a country, or health, or who knows, you know, a death of your old life, of your old perspective. Usually it blossoms into something new, and usually it's quite freeing. If not always, it's quite freeing. It's our ego holding on to the old life that's actually the struggle, and that's painful. There's also the possibility of entity attachments, parasites. There can be our guides just forcing us to learn this lesson. Consider as well that it's possible, I mean, many of us are not actually from here. Maybe we're not from Earth. We're from the star system, the Pleiades, who knows. Different places, different galaxies. And you've this expansive, all-knowing, all-loving, telepathic ball of energy and light jammed into this human body. And everything happens slowly here. We have to grow up again. We have to learn how to communicate. We have to learn how to walk and talk and eat. We have to learn to control our urges and our addictions and food and work and people and all the dynamic of relationships and family. We have to learn all that shit again and again and again. And then it's just slow to manifest anything. It's so slow to go anywhere. You have to get in a car or get on a train and you have to wait. Whereas where we come from, perhaps it's possible just to be there, to think it and you're there, to communicate instantly, to travel instantly, to experience instantly. And suddenly we're jammed into this body, and it's just so frustrating that we spend years and years and years of our life not really understanding why the fuck is this so difficult. And maybe it's so difficult because you've just sat into a machine that you don't really know how to use. And there's so much going on, and there's so much being forced upon us that it's hard to step back and take a breather, you know, because you've got to pay bills, you've got to deal with people. There's so much ongoing daily pressure. So not knowing who we are or where we're from adds to that confusion. It's like as soon as we realize, okay, well, maybe I'm not from here. Maybe I'm not human. Maybe I agree to come back to do work here. Okay, that's fair enough. It's a bit easier. Maybe that's why I don't get it here yet. And I'm frustrated here. And I want to know who I am and where I'm from. And I want to know who my real ancestors are. Maybe. I think a large part of our struggle is the perception of our struggle. And a large part of my message is to observe, to try not to cling on or attach to pain and confusion, to try and let that wash over us. So that doesn't mean to do nothing. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep meditating, keep being still, keep observing, keep your practice up, be nice to people, try to emanate love and light, and keep going, and let the chaos swirl and pass, and not grip onto it. Our emotions can really be like a roller coaster, and rather than stepping back, we tend to dig in and hold on and react, and thus we're vibrating anger or confusion, and thus we're just creating more chaos. It can be a spiral then. Also, I would say that it's good to consider my perception that there really is no such thing as good or bad. Some things are more beneficial to us. They're more helpful. They help us along. They help us grow. So the things that we deem as being bad is usually just an experience that we don't understand yet. You know, there's lots of stories of people who got cancer or lost their jobs or whatever, and in the moment they're panicked and they think this is bad, oh my god. And they get through it and they think, wow, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Or maybe not the best thing, but it was something that they learned a lot from and that was very beneficial. So it can be helpful to not just immediately react, become defensive, attack, and assume this is a bad experience. There's a lesson in it, there's a growth in it, it's going to make you stronger, it's going to show you a part of yourself or a part of the world or a part of your life that you previously were unaware of. And it might be something, part of your soul journey or your spirit that you need to learn, or your guides are showing you that you need to learn, and that you will grow from, become bigger and wiser, happier, freer. So maybe don't see it as being bad, just see it as being just another experience. And then to finish, I tend to also consider the fact that I've been here thousands of times, hundreds, thousands, I don't know. And from that bigger picture, Does it really fucking matter that I don't like this person, or I had an argument, or my food is cold, or whatever it is, or I have cancer? Does it matter that much? Like, there is grief and pain involved, but from a bigger picture, it can help me to step back and let go and see, okay, well, this is part of my journey. Been here before, I'm gonna be here again. What's the lesson? What can I learn from this? And let it wash over me. Just keep going. So I hope that was of help to some people. Please do subscribe. Please comment. Please like. It helps me. I think it helps the whole YouTube algorithm that I don't understand. And I'll talk to you. Good luck and thanks.